guys. So we can't do a proper reaction video because I've already seen the trailer. But we can do a breakdown of the trailer because, there's so much here to unpack. So before we get too far into it, things are changing. I have stuff for a real quick update for the weekend nerddom. It's just a matter of getting around to being able to do it. So probably next week we'll see a single weekend update video and probably a couple more of these breakdowns / reactions. The Avengers trailer just got posted today, so we will very likely be doing a reaction to that because I haven't watched that yet. But let's get into this breakdown real quick. Oops. Sorry, still learning how to do the OBS stuff properly. All right, there we go. Haha, look at that. Okay, so play. Obviously, this is going to be super bloody, so be aware. First things first, the thing that we need to know is that these models very likely are not going to be final game models. Something close to these is likely to happen. It's possible that these will be the final game models, but even in the MKX teaser trailer 2-3 years ago, whenever that was, the Sub-Zero model is vastly different in-game, and the Scorpion model changed a little bit. So this is likely not going to be the final look for either of these characters. If this is the final look for Scorpion and Raiden, I'm totally cool with it. I really dig the way this Scorpion looks. I feel like there's a lot of elements that are remnants of the MKX look, so that's what makes me feel like it's not entirely likely that this is going to be the final look, but I can't imagine they'll stray too far from this. And then we're gonna get into that in just a minute. So let's continue the video a little ways.
With the drum attack.
I feel like
you a shit talker, we got done for that.
Mask though is so badass.
Stupid. You gonna get a bullet in your lung for that. Stupid.
Right there. So there's a couple of things to unpack right here. First, we have the blood. I feel like this what these intro or teaser trailers are always giving us is kind of game mechanics more than mythology. There's not a whole lot of story to unpack in these ever, but that's also usually because it's either Scorpion by himself or Scorpion versus Sub-Zero. That's usually what we get in these teaser trailers. Whoa, words. So I'm not worried too much about the implied mythology here, though. There are a couple of things we can unpack about the mythology. The red lightning around Raiden and his red eyes kind of that's alluding to his new character design, and he is going to be evil Raiden. So everyone has kind of already concluded that. We've got, again, this is going to be bloodier than previous outings, so hence the excessive amounts of blood, but also the potential for stage weapons again, like we got in, what was that, Deadly Alliance, I believe, that you had the weapon stance and then there were stage weapons on some of the stages. It looks like that could be being implied here, because Raiden got this weapon from the background. So also we're going to see here in a minute, speaking of backgrounds, there potentially is going to be destructible backgrounds, destructible environments. Again, that's the purpose of these trailers, is it's showing us it's giving us clues as to the new game mechanics more than it is to the new story. So let's continue the trip.
FMN in the mood sign. Glock 19 in the blue flame. I was strapped when I stood inside your boo thing. 21 immortal, we'll never die. Loyal to my
now,
brother.
This is very
I never
likely
lie. Call me back dog cause I cheat and I'm fly. And I love winning, I'm upset if it's a tie. If you ever try to go against the game,
amount of blood. And there we go. That's the other thing I wanted to talk about. Damage. We haven't seen... Well, I mean, we have since Xbox, the original Xbox, because we got the Tao Fang, where there was the damage done to the character model. But it's really limited. It's always been super limited. What they're showing us here, I guess here, is something a little more detailed, something that looks like it could potentially affect gameplay, could affect the way the character functions for the rest of the match. That the implications there are pretty intense, and that freaking scorpion mask is so awesome. And we are continuing. I feel like this could be important. And killed him. Now,
get you off the ground just to knock you to the floor. Let's go blow for blow.
Footsteps
Let's
are
go
those?
toe to toe. When it's time to battle, they don't never ever show. When it's time to battle, I'm the first one at the door.
And bam, right there. So, rumors so far is that we are getting a lot of crossover from the most recent Injustice, in that these look like pieces of older skins, right? The mask looks like it could be from Mortal Kombat 2. Very much looks like it could be from Mortal Kombat 2, but then his gi looks like it's from Mortal Kombat 3, or Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 to be specific. But he still has his swords, so there's all kinds of different elements. Obviously, the swords are likely just a staple part of his character design, but I don't see it being a straight switch from, or a straight what's the word I'm looking for? Straight, like they're not just going to steal that design, that game design element directly from Injustice. Nothing between Mortal Kombat and Injustice has ever been a straight across transfer. It's always, there's something that kind of resembles what they did in the other game, but by and large, the games stand on their own. So, yes, I do think there is going to be costuming elements to the game, but it's not going to be in the same vein as we got in Injustice 2. Just because by their nature, these are two very, very different games. Yes, they're from the same studio, but the control schemes are different. The mythology is vastly different. So there's way too much to make Mortal Kombat its own thing. It just doesn't make sense that they would transfer rather the exact same mechanic. It's going to be similar, sure, but I don't think it's going to be as similar as a lot of the rumors and a lot of the hype types are thinking it's going to be.
Here we go.
That's so badass. Oh, and maybe this is some sort of glimpse into one of Scorpion's fatalities. Oh, I would imagine
It's gonna be next.
that is going to be part of his fatality. And then the big question reveal. This, when we all first saw it, we thought this was going to be Sub-Zero, because it's kind of looks like it might be ice, but really it's glass. Or this is a new elemental, or this is a new Elder God, or I on the Maximilian dude stream, they were thinking it was this was indicative of some sort of time travel, and because they're in the background from Mortal Kombat 1 with the dead monks in the background, everything's kind of messed up. They're thinking that also is implying time travel. I doubt it. We got that leak a couple of weeks ago. We haven't talked about it on the channel because we've been on blackout, but we got that quote-unquote leak, the Reddit leak a few weeks ago, talking about how Johnny Cage, Sonya Blade, Goro, Ferrator, there's a whole list, Baraka. These are not going to be playable characters. I don't know how much of that list is accurate. Obviously, Ferrator is not coming back. That was a one-off character. We get those from time to time, and I'm okay with Ferrator not coming back. Johnny Cage, though, and Sonya Blade, they built the entire last game around that story, so that's not super likely to be accurate. Either way, we're talking about the possibility of time travel. I don't think that's gonna be a thing. I honestly think this right here that we're looking at is an elder god, and we're getting a new elder god, a new rogue elder god, as our big bad, or this could be the new protector of Earthrealm, because we know that Raiden has gone evil, so this could be who, and Raiden could be the big bad. We really don't know a whole lot. My money, though, says this is going to be the new big bad. It's a female, so, you know, the things and the diversity and whatever. And right there, that's so interesting. What is going on in this frame? We don't know what this hourglass is. It is obviously an hourglass. You can see the texture of the sand, the shape here. That's showing us that it's an hourglass. So there's something to do with time. I don't believe it's time travel, because that's never been a thing for Mortal Kombat. The only time we kind of sort of got time travel was when Raiden sent a message to himself in the past, and that's what rebooted the franchise, right? But that's the closest we got to actual time travel. I don't think this is that. Though, it would be an interesting way to bring back dead characters who they have killed off in previous games. Also an interesting way to introduce new characters who maybe exist outside of time or something like that. But just so much is potentially going on in this frame. Let's continue. Mortal Kombat 11. April 23rd is the launch of the game. January 17th, we will be talking about that. And then other big reveal. That's right, Shao Kahn. So this is not going to be canon in the story. That this is just not going to be a thing. It is, however, going to be a really interesting OP freaking early character. The pre-order is how you get Shao Kahn, and how you get. I'll let this play forward a little bit more. So beta access. Beta access won't start until March, so you get a month worth of beta, and you get Shao Kahn, just like we got Goro from Mortal Kombat X. There's no story elements here. There were no story elements for around Goro outside of the prequel comic, because he effectively was killed. I mean, not really. His life was not ended, but he lost all of his limbs in the prequel comic for Mortal Kombat X. So him being included in the game was strictly part of them just trying to bring back nostalgia and kind of a little bit of a cash grab. Same thing's going to be Shao Kahn. He's dead in the story. He's dead. Yes, it's Mortal Kombat. Nobody actually ever stays dead. Kind of. We seem to have kept Noob Saibot dead. We seem to have kept Jade dead. We seem to have kept Sindel, and pretty much everyone Sindel killed in Mortal Kombat 9 stayed dead in Mortal Kombat 10 or X, or however you're supposed to say it. XL these days. So yeah, no story elements. I heard rumors and rumors of rumors months ago, back when we did the words Starfest, the Starfest Comic-Con, the nerd convention. There were people there who I was talking with who, you know, had been reading way too much into the mythology of Mortal Kombat, and there were rumors that Shao Kahn was going to come back in some other form, and that this is different in that, you know, his armor is different, but obviously the character design is just an updated version of what we got in Mortal Kombat 9. I dig in his regal, quasi shogun looking armor. That's pretty freaking epic. But let's go back. Speaking of character design, let's go back, see if I can find. Right. Here. Let's go back just a couple seconds before that, just so we can. So, yeah. The other part of that Reddit leak was that the character designs were more lifelike than they have been previously. Now, Mortal Kombat X, I feel like, got rid of a lot of the issues with the way the characters looked. This is going even that step further. So you can see, I don't know how well, yeah, you can see it pretty well. Scorpion's armor and his gi don't cover his sides, so you can see the muscle in the sides of him. Like, you can see there's his chest, these are his lats. That's just, the detail is pretty awesome. And then you can the detail in the mask, the nose, and then it's like that traditional looking, almost skull-like mask. And then once we get in closer, you can see there's teeth behind this as well. That's still a part of the mask. There. Oh. Right there. You can see. So, yes, the character designs are much, much, much more detailed, and they're much more human. See, even here, that's incredible. But my favorite part about this is the faces right there. Look at that. He looks like a real person. This is probably the first time. There were moments in MKX where you could say that, but this is easily the first time you can say that about Mortal Kombat characters, is that looks like it could be real. Obviously, the computer-generated suit and everything in here is computer-generated, but the shiny suit, I guess is a better way to say that, looks super fake. But if you were to cut this scene right here and just had basically from his cheek over, that looks like it's ripped right out of a movie. That is incredible. I am so stoked for the look of this. And they don't one of my big complaints with the character designs from last time was their chest cavities seemed extremely large. Like, yes, they're supposed to be in great physical shape, and they are supposed to be overly muscular and yada, yada, yada. But it was unbelievable. It was too large. So pre-orders start today as I am recording this. I will be going to pre-order mine tonight. I like to do the physical pre-orders just because I like to have the physical game. And if there's like last time we got the the limited collector's edition, I got the big box with the figurine and all that jazz. That's usually the only way you can do that is if you get a physical copy of the game. So I always like to have the physical copy of the game. And we've got all of the legal stuff at the bottom. Closed beta only on PlayStation 4 and Xbox. In March of 2019. Check local retailers for availability. Internet connection required to access all downloadable content. Yes, these things we already know. But if you also take notice right here at the bottom, right behind the player controls, so hopefully you can see that just fine, we have two icons we didn't really get support for on Mortal Kombat X. The Nintendo Switch wasn't out when X launched, so that's why it didn't make it over there. But PC, we've got a pretty horrible past on the PC. So this is exciting in and of itself. Just because if they're promoting it from the beginning, I guess they did promote X from the beginning too on PC, and it just kind of stopped happening. Yeah, that looks, this is going to be so epic. And we only have to wait a month for the next big reveal. January 17th, we will be doing again. Hopefully I can do some sort of live stream for that. If not, we'll do something akin to this again. And that is the end of the trailer, guys. That's, yeah. Yes, please. Yes, please. So, thank you. Again, you're seeing that things are different on the screen now, too. Only slightly different for the end screen, though this isn't the final updated version. This is kind of the work-in-progress version of the end screen. So, remember, generallynerdy.net is the website. Everything starts from there. Go check that out. Patreon.com/generallynerdy if you want to support the channel directly and get the all the awesome extra stuff that's going up on the Patreon. I will have complete details for all of that stuff in the very near future. Right now, all of the logistics and everything are still being worked out. So until then, guys, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here. And I got another reaction video to film.